Yeah, I'm gonna try and use BT a little bit more so I can kind of get it to, I don't know. Tom. I still prefer Garmin, but no choice. Let's use this. Great. Call up to Napa and pick him up and go. That's stupid. So
Or
stupid.
more. Let's check traffic with Jack Ferris. He's in the traffic center again, and he's taking us to Dublin again.
That's right, 580 westbound at El Charro Road is one of a couple of issues to contend with right now in and around Dublin. That's a two-car crash on the shoulder, not causing too much of an issue. Significant issue, though, southbound 680 as you make your way from Dublin down into Pleasanton, specifically from the 580 mark through about Sunol Boulevard. East Shore Freeway, 80 westbound, still very slow as you make your way towards the Bay Bridge. Once you get to the Bay Bridge, it's wait at the metering lights, and then I'll wait on that upper deck as you make your way into the skyline. Good news up at the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, 580 westbound, just after the toll plaza. We had a two-car crash that was blocking a lane that has been cleared, though traffic's still pretty slow, 580 westbound, as you make your way onto the upper deck, heading to the greater Marin County area. Your next report coming at you with Joe at 5:08 right here on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
So it's much cooler today, and it's mostly clear inland, but clouds, fog, and drizzle are still at the coast. Lows in the upper 50s to the low 60s, much cooler inland this weekend. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. It is Saturday, July 27th, 2024. Coming up on KCBS.
I'm Chris Carlo with more on how weather conditions are helping firefighters tame the monster that is the park fire burning near Chico.
And former President Trump and running mate J.D. Vance hit the stump in Minnesota. I'm Pat Thurston. CBS News covers the world next. When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, and Odyssey Station. 5 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Dog Food.
I'm Heather Bosch. With just over 100 days until the elections, the campaigning is intensifying. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump taking aim at the presumptive Democratic nominee Kamala Harris.
Kamala is worse than Joe. Is worse. She's a radical left lunatic, defund the police, all of the different things.
CBS's Natalie Brand.
The Harris campaign kicked off what it's calling a weekend of action to try and mobilize tens of thousands of volunteers across more than 2,000 events in key swing states. Headliners ranging from the second gentleman to some of the Democratic governors under consideration for running mate.
Israel is blaming Hezbollah for a deadly rocket strike on the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights. Hezbollah denies it. In Washington, it's triggering concerns Israel could likely not win a war against the Lebanese militant group without U.S. help. CBS's Margaret Brennan.
That concern of drawing in the United States has motivated a lot of frantic diplomacy behind the scenes. Ever since the Biden administration has been making a diplomatic push to prevent a war between Hezbollah and Lebanon and Israel, and to end the attacks along the so-called Blue Line, which divides Lebanon from Israel and the Golan Heights.
The latest round of in-person ceasefire talks is set to take place tomorrow in Rome. CIA Director William Burns is traveling to the Italian capital to meet with his counterparts from Israel and Qatar. California's largest wildfire is gaining ground. CBS's Jonathan Bigliotti reports.
Park fire burning just outside the city of Chico, doubling in size since Friday. Now, nearly 350,000 acres, flames incinerating roughly 480 square miles.
Crazy, chaotic,
scary. The fire's burning nearly 5,000 acres every hour. Nearly 10,000 evacuated. More than 130 structures, including homes, have been destroyed.
Homeless people are pushing back against the California governor's order to clear out their camps. This woman says she'd rather not live in a tent.
It is very traumatizing to live outdoors. I do want everybody to have a place to stay.
Advocates say it could take months to find shelter for all those affected. Rallies today for an Illinois woman. Investigators say Sonia Massey called 911 about a possible intruder in her home, but was shot by police. The deputy involved was fired. He pleaded not guilty to murder. This is CBS News.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is freeze-dried dog food. Save up to 54% off your first order, plus a free bag of cod Krispies. They're wild-caught cod skin treats. Text dogs to 511-511. Text fees may apply.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Krispies. Go to drmartypets.com/dogs or text dogs to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Wherever I travel, I've learned that local knowledge is key to a great journey. But so is knowing the language. And that's where Rosetta Stone comes in. They're now offering a lifetime membership to all 25 of their languages. You can dabble in French, try a little German, learn Japanese or Swedish, and you can now get 50% off Rosetta Stone's lifetime unlimited subscription. Visit rosettastone.com/radio today to purchase and then learn for life. That's rosettastone.com/radio.
If you're not happy with a product, business, or company, you are far from alone. CBS's Jim Krasula.
No one is quite sure why, but the number of consumer complaints against companies and businesses are on the rise. They are up by nearly 25% so far this year in South Carolina alone.
Usually it's vehicles, contractors, home repair type stuff, timeshares, real estate, and HOAs.
Sam Cook is with the South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
The World Soccer Governing Body is punishing Canada at the Olympics for allegedly cheating. FIFA's deducted 6 points from Canada in the Paris Olympics women's soccer tournament, and it's banned 3 coaches for a year. FIFA says 2 assistant coaches were caught using drones to spy on the New Zealand team's practices before their opening game Wednesday. The Canadian Soccer Federation must also pay a fine. The Canadian team can appeal. I'm Heather Bosch, CBS News.
It is 5:05 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. A much cooler day today. Here in San Francisco, that misty, drizzly thing is beginning to increase. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Thurston, and here is what's happening. Firefighters are starting to go on the offensive against a massive wildfire burning near Chico. KCBS's Chris Ancarlo reports live. A change in weather arrived at just the right time. Chris.
Yeah, we've been talking about this massive weather shift all day. It appears to be paying dividends on the firefight. Park Fire is already a top 10 all-time fire in California in relative to size. It was moving with lightning speed, but Chief Jeremy Pierce says things have changed.
The crews are out there working hard. They're still trying to go direct on this. We're having great success today as that fire lays down. With that fire laying down, our crews are strong and going out there and getting this while the weather is in our favor.
Yeah, it's a favor that was echoed by the incident commander. Let's see here, it's Billy C.
Today we've been utilizing both aircraft and ground resources to go after the northern part of the fire, in which you'll hear from our operations section chief, as well as trying to secure the Highway 32 corridor.
We've been talking a lot about that northern section of the fire because that was where we saw just incredible growth yesterday and last night and through the overnight. That's along the 36 corridor. This fire, by the way, just to give you another kind of idea of the size, from its southern tip to its northern tip, about 50 miles.
crews went direct on that line, and they've been working direct on it all day long, and their goal is to wrap that line around and bring it back to 36. It's about 5,000 acres, and keep it out of the community of man.
Crews are also working on Highway 32, a lot of 30s here, but 32 running along kind of the eastern flank of the fire. That's critical because they want to build as much line as they can there, or at least get ahead of the flames as much as they can there. As weather conditions shift, they don't want to see it leak further to the east into even more wilderness and more vegetation that is dry and ready to burn. On the western side of the fire, it's been backing down the hillside, and they're starting to get dozer line in there, and they're saying that it looks as though they're starting to build more and more of a line between houses and fire along that front. Reporting live in the East Bay, Chris and Carlo, KCBS.
So, Chris, I just want to say that we had Darren Peck on earlier. It looks like it's going to get more moist, you know, that marine layer thing. I don't know nothing about weather, but we're going to have more of that in the atmosphere overnight. Matter of fact, he said it'll even collect on the ground, like around here, that you'll wake up in the morning and it'll look like it's been raining outside. But it hasn't been raining, it's just all that moisture, all that misty stuff.
Yeah, and around here, absolutely, that's great. But when we see that sort of effect around here, typically, if the pattern holds, then you start to see a boost in the relative humidity further inland. And in this case, that's exactly what's happening, as they're seeing a boost by 10 to 15% in relative humidities, which is incredibly important when it comes to fighting fires.
Chris and Carlo reporting live. Thank you so very much. And just ahead on KCBS.
I'm David Welch in Oakland, where the city's independent baseball team is shouldering its first negative press.
Let's check traffic. Joe Hoskinson is in the KCBS Traffic Center now, and he's going to take us to the Bay Bridge. There's a stall.
Yeah, we got a lot of slow traffic and now a stall to contend with. This is at westbound 80. It is going to be just before the toll plaza, and it appears to be in the third lane from the left. CHP are on the way. Now, again, we are finding some slow traffic here as you make your way towards the toll plaza. Delays are starting just before the toll plaza, but it's going to be heavy across the upper deck of the Bay Bridge, at least out to the island where traffic starts to open up. You're going to find some delays in San Francisco on 80. This is eastbound 80 from 101 to about 4th Street. Golden Gate Bridge looks good, and we are getting word of a new problem in San Jose, a crash north 87 before Capitol Expressway. The reports are coming in of a three-car collision. So far, I'm not seeing any delays on our interview camera, but that could change. Just be aware of this reported accident. Northbound 17, not looking too bad. A few pockets of slow traffic from Lexington Reservoir into Los Gatos. Your next update's coming up at 5:18 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Thank you, Joe. Let's look at your forecast now. So today and tomorrow, the forecast is kind of the same. Mostly clear inland, clouds, fog, drizzle along the coast, lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Much cooler inland this weekend, highs in the low 60s to the low 80s. And as night comes in, it's going to bring more of that misty, drizzly stuff by the water. Now, as Darren Peck was telling us in the last hour, tomorrow is actually going to be a little bit warmer than today, that the warm-up is going to begin tomorrow, but it is not going to be substantial. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Let's go back to your News Watch now. An agent representing several Oakland Ballers players says some of the team's working conditions are not safe. As KCBS's David Welch reports, she's advising her players to leave the team.
Longtime sports agent Lonnie Murray says the team isn't providing adequate medical care to her players. And she says living conditions provided by the team are crowded and unsafe. The Ballers offer housing to many of their players. Team officials, including Ballers co-founder Paul Freeman, say any concerns about housing were addressed quickly.
We immediately put the players in a hotel, and then over the course of the week arranged a different housing unit in a different part of town.
Murray says shortstop Miles Jefferson sustained an injury that wasn't handled appropriately. That thumb issue has him out for the rest of the season, something Murray argues could have been avoided. Ballers officials point out they're one of the few teams in the league with a team doctor, and Freeman says player safety on and off the field is their biggest priority.
We've never promised to be perfect. We only promised to try and not repeat the same mistake.
In Oakland, David Welch, KCBS.
With COVID cases skyrocketing in the Bay Area, San Francisco health officials are urging residents to consider wearing masks in crowded indoor spaces. This comes after more than a year since a major health organization recommended masking for those not at elevated risk other than in healthcare settings. Most mask requirements were lifted more than 3 years ago, and it's highly unlikely mandates will be reintroduced to the general public.
This is Larry Fleck, owner of the Floor Store. Our summer sale isn't just hot, it's sizzling. $250 off every $1,000 you spend, plus 18 months interest-free financing. That's smoking hot. Go to floorstores.com for directions. The Floor Store, your Bay Area flooring authority.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yep, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't, you'll be sorry. In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
KCBS All News Radio.
The news I care about. People I trust. All the headlines I need when I listen.
Easy to get my news right on their app.
Listen live on the Odyssey app.
Grab the keys to a new fuel-efficient Toyota. Hit the open California road this summer with incredible MPG and peace of mind. With fewer fill-ups, you can explore further and make the most of these long summer days. Choose from Toyota's 16 hybrid and electrified models. More than any other brand, make go the distance with Toyota's class-leading fuel efficiency and reliability. It's time to make this summer one to remember. Toyota. Let's go places.
Today we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos? These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam. And I'm Nick. Together we founded LegacyBox over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century. It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. LegacyBox transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click. Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive. Over 1 million families have trusted LegacyBox, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands. Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments. Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Coming up on KCBS, I'm Raquel Maria Dillon in Oakland, where progressives are calling out recall campaigns and defending Mayor Sheng Tao's record. KCBS News Time is 5:15. It's time for your sports report. Here's Matt Pittman, a historic milestone for the Golden State Valkyries.
The Bay Area's WNBA expansion team has now eclipsed 15,000 season ticket deposits for its inaugural season beginning next summer. Golden State Valkyries are the first women's professional sports team ever to reach the 15,000 season ticket deposit threshold. While the excitement continues to build among fans of women's basketball across the Bay Area, the hard work is underway to build the team that will debut next summer at Chase Center under the direction of General Manager Ohema Nyanen.
15K is insane, and I appreciate all the love ahead of time, and don't worry, we're grinding to make sure that you get all the things that you need.
The NBA signed its 11-year media rights deal with Disney, NBC, and Amazon Prime back on Wednesday, which will bring the league about $76 billion in revenue over those 11 years. As part of the new deal, the WNBA will bring in more than $200 million annually in broadcasting revenue. That's up more than $150 million over its previous television rights agreement. At the sports desk, Matt Pittman, KCBS.
With the incredibly spacious 3-row Chevy Traverse, you can change.
Let's just meet at the concert.
Into
Why don't I pick all you guys up on the way?
The advanced safety-engineered Chevy Blazer EV lets you turn... You think we should turn back? Into... full steam ahead. And with the affordable Equinox EV...
Keep an eye out for the next charger, kids.
becomes...
Get comfortable, kids. We'll be home in 4 hours.
For all kinds of summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Right now, combine offers to get $7,350 total value on a 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab Custom with a Turbo Max engine when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 14% below MSRP. See your Bay Area Chevy dealer today. Must trade in a 2010 model year or newer vehicle based on $49,945 MSRP. Not available with special financing and some other offers. Residential restrictions apply. Taking retail delivery by 7/31/2024.
Download the Odyssey app and listen anywhere.
Anywhere.
Love it for the news, weather, and traffic. KCBS All News Radio.
There are two types of journeys in life. There are those we choose to take, and those that life takes us on. For moments we'll never forget, and those we must overcome. I'm Tim McGraw. Join American Airlines and Stand Up to Cancer in our efforts to help make every person diagnosed with cancer a long-term survivor. Visit standuptocancer.org/American Airlines to learn more. Stand up with us.
Declare your independence from the electric company. SemperSolaris.com.
Let's check traffic with Joe once again in the traffic center. This time we're going to East Palo Alto. There's a crash.
Yeah, we do have an accident, and it is blocking a lane of traffic. It's southbound direction of 101, right at University Avenue. It looks like, well, we see one car blocking the left lane. There may be another car involved. They may be up to the right shoulder, but this car blocking the left lane is enough to cause a backup that we're seeing right now from about Willow Road. Actually stretching from before Willow Road in Menlo Park. So heads up for these brake lights on southbound at 101 in East Palo Alto. Northbound 17, still finding some delays here from Lexington Reservoir into Los Gatos. Very slow going in Pleasanton, southbound 680 from 580. Traffic will be mostly slow out towards Sonoma Boulevard. And the Bay Bridge had an earlier stall. Looks like that's been cleared, but traffic is still slow. Approaching the tolls, you'll find delays on the incline heading towards the island. And of course, if you do spot a problem, call the KCBS Cordell and Cordell phone force line at 415-391-KCBS. Your next update, 528 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Thank you, Joe. Visit Mancini Sleep World and save on cooling mattresses and accessories, or visit sleepworld.com. Now your Mancini Sleep for a 6-day forecast with meteorologist Aaron Peck.
What a dramatic difference today made. The marine layer went into overdrive, and it's not really going away entirely for the immediate day. It's just going to start rebuilding back again for tomorrow morning. But today was really the dramatic day in terms of the temperature drop. If you're in an inland valley, you're 20 to 25 degrees cooler for your daytime high today than you were on Friday. We didn't get out of the 60s in Concord. 66 there. 70 in Livermore. It was 91 there yesterday. San Jose also got a nice drop today. 70 degrees. You were in the mid-80s yesterday. San Francisco didn't get out of the 50s. Oakland barely made 60 today. So even though we're going to start out tomorrow morning with plenty of clouds, we are going to start warming up as well. Nothing crazy tomorrow, but you'll be back into the low 80s for inland valleys. San Jose's going to warm up to right around 80 on Sunday. Morning clouds, more afternoon sunshine for everybody tomorrow. San Francisco will be in the mid-60s, and then a gradual warming trend will continue from there, so that by the middle of next week, many of our inland valleys are back up to the low 90s.
Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Let's go back to your News Watch now. An Oakland progressive political group is calling out the recall efforts against Mayor Shane Tao and Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price. KCBS's Raquel Maria Dillon reports.
Oakland Rising Action says the recall efforts are funded by small groups trying to do an end run around ranked choice voting. They say these groups are wasting city money during an ongoing budget crisis and, quote, disrupting democracy. Executive Director Evelyn Torres says Oakland voters should respect the outcome of democratic elections.
One, cost. You know, if you live in Oakland, if you live in Alameda County, our communities and resources need a lot of help.
Torres says it's taken her group a while to coalesce around opposing the recall and supporting Tao because Oakland Rising is a collaborative, so members had to have discussions about how to talk about the recall. Now she says it's time to act.
In Oakland, I'm Raquel Maria Dillon, KCBS. A man is in critical condition after a motorcycle accident in Santa Rosa. Witnesses say the motorcyclist lost control of his bike before hitting a curb and flipping multiple times. Santa Rosa police say the motorcycle was heading west on Fountain Grove when the man lost control of his vehicle just after passing Parker Hill. After flipping, the motorcycle landed on the north side of Fountain Grove near the sidewalk, where officials say the man was found unresponsive near his bike. Authorities say he was taken to a local hospital and is in critical condition. The driver's speed is unknown. It's an aggressive move by Governor Newsom, but the question becomes, will it work? KCBS's Jennifer Hodges has more on his order to clear out homeless encampments.
Cities across the state jumped into action clearing out homeless encampments.
It's a huge problem, and Governor Newsom is right in the middle of it.
And not every jurisdiction is able to comply. Political analyst and San Jose State political science professor emeritus Larry Gersten.
It's a problem for the local communities if they don't have the resources or the places to put these people.
That has been the case with a number of counties reporting shortages.
That's the biggest problem of all. Despite vast amounts of money dedicated to solving this problem, the cities, the counties have just been unable to translate that into sufficient numbers of shelters or mini homes, as now some are doing, to accommodate all those folks.
The policy allows for 48 hours for people to evacuate before the encampment is cleared out. Jennifer Hodges, KCBS.
Venezuelans go to the polls tomorrow in what could prove a pivotal election for the crisis-ridden country. CBS's Vicki Barker reports from the foreign desk in London.
President Nicolas Maduro is seeking a third secure term amid accusations of opposition harassment by an increasingly authoritarian regime. But despite disqualifying at least one opposition leader, barring some international observers from arriving, and handing out